Pop Culture Junkie is taking a short break. Until we return, enjoy our We Love the 2010s series again, or for the very first time. We'll be back soon with all new episodes.
Pop Culture Junkie is bringing you a special 5-part series celebrating the best of the 2010s. Let's face it, the last decade was a rough one, but thanks to pop culture, we got through it. On this episode of We Love the 2010s, the Pop Culture Junkies look back at the years 2012 and 2013.
2012 is the year that gave us these important questions. Admit it, you were ready for the world to end, weren't you? Just what the hell is wrong with Florida Man? Who was your somebody I used to know? Pop Culture Junkie presents
We Love the 2010s.
The movies, the music,
The television, the technology,
The trends, the memes.
We Love the 2010s.
So entertain me right now.
Oh my god, this is a travesty. God, if we can't even recruit Baloney Barb, then we can't get anybody. Just take the dramatics down a notch, okay? Hi.
You're the one who got us into this hot mess.
Oh, we'll be fine. I am confident that we will find 8 super hot girls with bikini-ready bodies who can harmonize in a perfect pitch, okay?
Of all the cup-stacking movies that came out in 2012, Pitch Perfect was the best.
It is kind of a musical. It's about a group of girls who are all part of the a cappella team at their college. And so the movie itself features a lot of music and a lot of people like singing and dancing. So I think I would probably count it as a musical, honestly.
It starred Anna Kendrick, Brittany Snow, Rebel Wilson.
When I think of Pitch Perfect, I think of packing. My husband and I were moving in, this is 2012. And I just remember packing up a bunch of boxes and we needed something to watch. So we threw Pitch Perfect on in the background and I got drawn in. I got sucked in. I don't think I did any packing. And my husband, per usual, is the one doing all the work. And then it was like 2 years later and I made a reference to Pitch Perfect and he didn't get it. And I'm like, what's wrong with you? And he goes, maybe because you're the only one who watched the movie. And he like got all upset. And secretly he'd been harboring this resentment for like 2 years. Not at me, but just at the fact that he hadn't really gotten to watch Pitch Perfect. He'd been pining to watch the movie.
That made the Cup song very popular, and I will admit I fully learned it. I still remember it to this day.
I went to the lamest bachelorette party ever in 2012 where the bride just invited me and like 2 other people to go watch Pitch Perfect. And then when we left, I was like, so we getting wrecked after this? And she's like, no, I think we're going to call it a night. So every time I think about that movie, I just think about what a lame ass party that was.
For some reason, I imagined Pitch Perfect being like the woman Magic Mike. Is that correct?
To live, I had to make myself more than what I was. To forge myself into a weapon. I am returning. Not the boy who was shipwrecked, but the man who will bring justice to those who have poisoned my city. My name is Oliver Queen.
2012 is the year the CW network decided to stop chasing after the Gossip Girl demographic and make DC superhero shows. The first was Arrow.
Stephen Amell was a great pick for the Green Arrow. Overall, I enjoyed it for the first several seasons.
Arrowverse was my introduction to superhero TV shows because I know there was Smallville before. And I remember watching it in the Dominican Republic because my cousin, he's a big fan. And he's like, you have to watch this. So we had a whole marathon and I was hooked.
I feel like this completely revamped the CW. I know I was a huge fan of all of these shows.
And, you know, them bringing in all the crossovers. I feel like the Arrowverse is what made that popular.
I'm grateful for those shows and grateful for all the amazing cosplay that came from them. The best breakup bop of 2012 was Somebody That I Used to Know by Gautier.
I was today years old when I found out how to pronounce Gautier.
I still remember a lot of covers of this song coming out. I did my own covers of this song. I'll never forget that the paint video, the paint on their bodies and them like blending into the wall.
That entire album was incredible. I bought it on CD, listened to it in my car on repeat.
And I feel like we all had someone that we envisioned as we sang this song in our cars. No, like who was your somebody that I used to know?
And I know exactly who my somebody I used to know is, and I will not say his name on this podcast. He knows who he is.
Today, I am proud to announce the Walt Disney Company is acquiring Lucasfilm, the global entertainment company founded by George Lucas and the home of the legendary Star Wars franchise.
In 2012, General Leia Organa became a Disney princess when Lucasfilms was sold to the House of Mouse.
That was shocking to me. I mean, Disney be scooping up properties left and right.
There's kind of a love and hate relationship with Disney's acquisition of Star Wars.
At the time, I think it was mind-blowing, but now it's kind of cool because when you go to those Disney theme parks, you get to just see Kylo Ren walking around.
For better or for worse, they're continuing to pump money into the franchise and they're not going to let it die. And so we get things like The Mandalorian and the Book of Boba Fett. And now this Obi-Wan Kenobi series coming out on Disney Plus. And we never would have had any of that stuff if Disney had not bought Star Wars.
My favorite Disney princess is still Belle in her beautiful yellow dress.
I do know about the Mayan calendar. I have done some research on it.
The Mayan calendar only extends to December 21st, 2012. Some people interpret that as a prediction for the end of the world on that date.
A lot of people were convinced that the world was about to end because the Mayan people made a calendar that didn't include any years after 2012.
It reminded me of Y2K all over again. Like when 99 rolled into 2000, everyone was like, oh no, what's going to happen? Same thing happened in 2012.
I honestly think the Mayan people just kind of got sick of keeping track of time. I mean, you got to stop at a certain point. You got to go to the bathroom. You got to have your meal breaks.
I remember seeing the movie 2012 and thinking that was the way the world was going to end. And I was terrified for my life.
I remember as a kid, I was waiting for this time. There was like, everybody was talking about it leading up to it. And people were like, oh, the end is coming because this calendar.
In the final episode of The X-Files, they predicted that the alien hostile takeover was going to happen in 2012. So that's what I was waiting for. I was like looking up like, beam me up, I'm ready. But they never came.
Does anybody embody the decade more than singer, actor, fashion icon Lady Gaga? The answer is no. In the year of Our Lady Gaga 2012, she appeared in animated form on The Simpsons, canceled her appearance in Indonesia after receiving death threats, was injured and had to cancel the Born This Way tour, and founded a website called littlemonsters.com. And that's the year of Our Lady Gaga 2012 edition.
All right, we gotta do something. Mikey.
I just came off stage.
An idea, man, an idea. Give me something.
You
man.
go out then.
Give me something, man. I'm not hitting the floor. Come on.
You want me to come up with something?
Magic Mike came out in 2012, and finally there was a movie promoting unrealistic body images for men.
I honestly will admit that I have never seen Magic Mike. I know. I like attractive men.
But it was nice for once seeing a movie like that made with men.
And I can be even more depressed about my figure because somebody on TV has it way better than me.
My bachelorette party, however, was Thunder from Down Under, so I got to go see the live action version.
Just wanna get your face and kiss you and make it all slappery.
Reality TV goes country when Here Comes Honey Boo Boo premiered in 2012, making Mama June an unlikely celebrity.
I obviously was familiar with Honey Boo Boo as a person and as like a caricature because I felt like there was like a lot of other things trying to like capitalize off the success of Honey Boo Boo, like out trash each other, like a bunch of families just trying to be trashier for the sake of TV.
And I was introduced to Honey Boo Boo while I was watching Toddlers and Tiara on TLC.
Honey Boo Boo to me was just the meme. I just knew the name Honey Boo Boo, wasn't really sure where it came from.
I think Here Comes Honey Boo Boo is the embodiment of people getting reality television shows just because they are entertaining and ridiculous.
All of her family members have nicknames, and it is quite funny. I have no idea where they came up with them, but we have Honey Boo Boo, whose real name is Alana Thompson, Jessica Shannon, who's nicknamed Chubbs, Chickadee, who is Anna Cardwell, the mom, June Shannon, who's Mama June, Lauren Shannon, who's Pumpkin, Mike Thompson, Sugar Bear, and then there's just one, Caitlin Cardwell, who does not have a nickname.
I never watched it, but at least it was a family that wasn't completely rich and glitzed out, and it was the anti-Kardashian, if you will.
And let me just tell you, that is one crazy family, and I totally understand why they got their own reality TV show.
Call Me Maybe by Carly Rae Jepsen had everyone giving their phone number to complete strangers in 2012.
Call Me Maybe was everywhere.
It's one of those that just played over and over.
School dances and like on the passing period music between classes.
It was a bop at the time, but I also remember it because I had every video game of Just Dance and that was on it. So I was always jamming out to it on that, and I always tried to do the dance if I can remember it while it came on the radio.
It was like that earworm that just like doesn't go away.
That song is disgustingly catchy. I mean, I hated it every time I heard it, but I think I probably know every word to this day.
I definitely never gave my number to a stranger, but I remember seeing Call Me Maybe with phone numbers written in like bathroom stalls that year.
And I have definitely given my phone number to complete strangers in my life, usually not to the best ending.
Romance novels have been around for a long time. That's nothing new. But the latest phenomenon in erotic fiction, 50 Shades of Grey. It's mesmerizing women all over the country and has proven to be in a class of its own.
The 50 Shades of Grey book series exposed a dirty little secret in 2012, just how much everyone's mom was into bondage and pornographic Twilight fan fiction.
I have never read the 50 Shades of Grey books, but I have definitely done some Google searches of, can I please read all of the sexiest parts?
I did the same thing, but then I just switched to porn.
Everyone I knew was reading 50 Shades of Grey, and I never read them. I knew they were based on Twilight, and y'all know my feelings about Twilight, so I never felt the need to dive into them.
Yeah, I don't know if my mom read them. I want to say she did, but thinking back to this age as to what I know is in those books, Mom, please never admit to me if you read them or not.
I did read a lot of articles that were like the 15 worst quotes from 50 Shades of Grey or the 5 worst things anyone has ever written, and they all come from 50 Shades of Grey. So I feel like I got a pretty good idea of what I was missing out on.
You have, though, most likely at least heard of Gangnam Style. The music and dance are really just sweeping the world right now.
Somehow, a Korean guy riding a pretend horse became the biggest video ever in 2012, when Gangnam Style by Psy went mega viral.
I think everybody who got married in 2012 had their bridal party come out to Gangnam Style.
I did get married in 2012, and though my bridal party did not come out to Gangnam Style, it definitely played at my reception, and everybody did the dance.
It became the first video on YouTube to hit 2 billion views.
There's so many just classic moments from that video, and the guy's in between his legs on the floor.
The music video was absolutely bizarre, and it just came out of nowhere. And it was almost like the Napoleon Dynamite of music videos, where the more you watched it, the funnier it got.
2012 was the year that my calves were at their best shape because of Gangnam Style.
I think white people love songs that tell us how to dance and tell us what to do. And so I feel like Gangnam Style went viral because we were like, hey, we can all do this stupid thing too. We can all pretend to ride a horse. In the 2010s, Marvel dominated cinema, releasing epic blockbusters every year. This is the Marvel Minute for 2012. The Avengers assembled for the first time this year, taking on Tom Hiddleston as Thor's brother Loki in the first full-cast film with the original 6 Avengers. It grossed over $1.5 billion at the worldwide box office. And, though technically not part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Spider-Man got a reboot with Andrew Garfield in The Amazing Spider-Man.
Grim! I volunteer as tribute. I believe we have a volunteer.
In 2012, Jennifer Lawrence volunteered as tribute in the first Hunger Games movie, satisfying the public's need to see the government murder children.
Was looking to fill that void left in my soul by Harry Potter. And with that gone, I picked up the Hunger Games books and devoured all 3 of them in a matter of just a couple days.
These books were so incredibly popular, leading to the popularity of the film series.
I remember when the books came out, I think we had to read the first one for school and do book reports on it. So obviously I didn't read it because it was for school, not pleasure. But I ended up reading it for pleasure.
A bunch of kids from different districts in this dystopian society have to fight for survival and for food for their communities. I loved the Hunger Games. I read every single book, cried through them, cried through the movies. And I think it's time for a rewatch.
I love these movies. I think they're insanely rewatchable, even though they've got tough moments.
Yeah, I remember the tune, the Hunger Games tune, being like the biggest thing around that time, and it just automatically prepared everybody for some kind of war or something.
I ended up loving the song. I became obsessed with it.
And those soundtracks had some really good songs.
Before we say goodbye to this year, let's take a moment to remember what we lost in 2012. We'd like to say rest in peace to the following: Whitney Houston, We Will Always Love You; the short-lived Facebook alternative Google+, MCA from the Beastie Boys, Twilight movies, and Katie Holmes' Mission Impossible marriage to Tom Cruise. And that's a list of who and what we lost in 2012. It always hurts to say goodbye.
That wraps up Pop Culture Junkie's I Love the 2010s year 2012. Catch you in 2013.
We love the 2010s.
2013 is the year that gave us these important questions. What is the science behind a Sharknado? Are you an F-boy, or did you just date one? How many drinks do you need to twerk in public? Pop Culture Junkie presents...
We love the 2010s.
Always thought there'd be an earthquake that'd be the end of Los Angeles.
Or a meteor shower. Zombies even.
Yeah.
Black Plague. Aliens. But sharks? Come on.
Yeah. Go figure. My luck, sharks.
Yeah, your luck, sharks.
The most ridiculous concept to come from the Sci-Fi Network's lineup of original movies was Sharknado.
This is just one of the many sci-fi movies that had weird concepts to it, like Sharktopus and Piranhaconda, which are actual movies.
It starred Ian Ziering and Tara Reid and a sky full of CGI sharks.
I really want to know if the science behind this is legitimate, and I need to talk to a zoologist / meteorologist, because somehow it's possible for a hurricane to scoop up a bunch of super pissed off sharks and just spin them around real fast and then rain it down on LA.
I've never seen it, but the title just kind of reminds me of Jaws, but now that I hear what it actually is, nothing like Jaws.
Exactly like Jaws, but in a tornado. It spawned a bunch of sequels, so you could check those out too. And my husband and I actually cosplayed as Ian Ziering and Tara Reid to Phoenix Comic-Con the year Sharknado came out.
I want to cosplay as the Sharknado and just put a bunch of hula hoops around myself with a bunch of stuffed sharks and just look very angry and wet.
Ian Ziering almost didn't take the gig to do Sharknado, and his wife convinced him that they needed the money. And so he said yes, just for a paycheck, never knew what it was going to become. And I'm so glad he did, because I freaking love Sharknado.
2013 is the year Lorde broke with the song Royals, which made us all aspire to be rich and materialistic.
Remember the lyrics? Like, who would want all of those things? Gold teeth, a Maybach, me. That's who.
I really enjoyed hearing Lorde. She reminded me of Florence Welch from Florence and the Machine, and I think she's actually one of her inspirations, and I think they ended up collaborating later.
I just want to point out that even poor people can be tripping in bathrooms and trashing hotel rooms, though. So just saying.
Yeah, I still don't know if she's my age or if she's 50, so.
And you guys know my love for Jack Antonoff, who then came in and produced a bunch of music for Lorde, including the banger that would come out years later, Green Light. So I am grateful to Royals for introducing Lorde into our lives.
I've always loved getting clean. I love showers. I love baths. It's my happy place. Was my happy place.
Netflix gave us Orange is the New Black in 2013, and it proved that the streaming service could give us great original content.
Orange is the New Black was set in a women's prison. It showed what it was like from the perspective of a kind of naive woman who got busted for giving drug money to her ex-girlfriend.
Yeah, and it also starred Laverne Cox, a transgender actor who went on to be a huge sensation, very, very successful, getting nominated for and winning all kinds of awards for her portrayal of Sophia in the show. And I just love seeing an all-female cast in something that wasn't Sex and the City.
I remember watching the first episode of this when it came out and feeling gay things.
Is this the one with Ruby Rose, right? And that's when everyone kind of realized that they were turning gay.
Again, yes, lots of gay feelings.
Wendy has a question about twerking.
Hi, Steve. So we all know that twerking is a new dance craze. So I saw a story about a girl the other day, 22 years old, kindergarten teacher, quit her job to record twerking videos full time. So I'm thinking about quitting my job, shutting down my business to pursue twerking full time. How do you think I should market my business?
Are you crazy?
2013 was the year we all learned a new dance move, the twerk.
The twerk is still very alive and well on TikTok in many variations. My favorite thing to come out of the twerk was this viral video of a girl twerking, and then she falls and a candle lights her on fire. And it went viral. Everyone was talking about it. And then it turned out to be one massive prank with a stunt woman from Jimmy Kimmel. And he just fooled everybody.
I'm not sure if all of us learned it or if some people had been doing it for a while, just better than us. But everyone was doing it. Men, women, grandmas, Miley Cyrus on Robin Thicke.
Miley Cyrus was my queen, is my queen, even through her crazy stages. So when she was twerking, I was twerking.
I still attempt to twerk, but being a small white woman, don't quite have the rhythm that I think I'm supposed to for these moves.
I remember refusing to do the twerk, and then I did it, and I realized it's a very happy dance. Like, you can't do it mad.
I think I could angry twerk. I think I could do a pissed twerk. I'm going to try later tonight.
So in 2013, we got too lazy to say babe for some reason and had to shorten it to bae.
Bae was one of those words that I started using ironically, like to me, hey bae, hey bae. And then I started using it seriously. And then I moved on to calling my husband my husband.
You know, I kind of feel like it has two meanings. Like, babe is for like that person that you love, your significant other. And bae is kind of like your crush.
I only ever jokingly used the term bae to refer to my significant other. It's still kind of like fingernails on a chalkboard. It drives me kind of crazy. And it's popped up in like song lyrics and all sorts of stuff.
I remember obviously saying this to every one of my friends. And I remember that they actually came up with the meaning of it, that it was before anyone else. Because BAE, before anyone else.
Way to try to backtrack and retcon bae.
Hey, Alexa, what time is my appointment today?
2013 was the year that Amazon gave us an electronic butler named Alexa, which I think is a lovely name for a butler.
Alexa is born of Amazon, which is arguably my favorite thing on the planet. I know, but I really love Amazon, and I like Alexa too, although I will say I heard all this creepy stuff about Alexa spying on you and listening in on your conversations. And, you know, my ads did become a lot more customized on social media after Alexa entered my home.
Honestly, Alexa can listen in to my life because all she's going to hear is me farting, sex noises, and lots of Halloween baking championship.
Yes, if you have an Alexa, please do me a favor. Go up to her and ask her, hey, Alexa, what kind of fart does insert name make? And it will give you an exact fart that person makes.
Hey, Alexa, what does Shauna's fart sound like?
You know, this is making me realize that anybody that's playing this episode out loud and has an Alexa is probably very confused.
Hey, Alexa, what's the weather today?
Hey, Alexa, the top podcast of all time is the Pop Culture Junkie Podcast.
I'm sorry, I cannot find the Pop Culture Junkie Podcast.
In what is one of possibly the strangest video trends to sweep the web, the Harlem Shake is taking over YouTube.
So in 2013, the Harlem Shake became a thing.
It is kind of hard, but what it is, it's wailing, like swinging your arms side to side. I can't do it, but I think that's why they made it an easier version.
So the Harlem Shake was basically a viral video trend where everybody started doing a dance and then we all paused and stood still. Was that the Harlem Shake, or am I thinking of a different dance?
It was standing still, and then you wait for the beat to drop, and it was in this song by Bauer, which came like, you know, a bolt of lightning and then disappeared just as quickly. But you'd stand still, looking completely normal. The beat would drop, and then you just start flailing like a lunatic. And sometimes there would be like costumes and props involved.
I totally remember doing this in high school because If it was a trend, us females were doing it.
Teaching at high school, I think I probably participated in like 7 or 8 different Harlem Shake videos.
See, I remember when this Harlem Shake came out, I was livid because the Harlem Shake I know I did in middle school, in the schoolyard, and we had competitions. Like if you had to settle some beef, you had a Harlem Shake.
And it was super easy to do because it didn't involve actually knowing how to dance in any way, shape, or form.
And then it got to corporate America. And honestly, if you worked a 9 to 5 Monday through Friday job, you had to do the Harlem Shake with all your coworkers at one point. And I think that's when everybody started hating it because it was a work sanctioned activity.
Yeah, so if you do want to see what the original Harlem Shake looks like, Google original Harlem Shake. Hey, Alexa, what is the original Harlem Shake?
Does anybody embody the decade more than singer, actor, fashion icon Lady Gaga? The answer is no. In the year of Our Lady Gaga 2013, she declared a pop emergency and released Art Pop ahead of schedule, one of my favorite Lady Gaga albums to this day. Appeared in Machete Kills, scored a hit with the song Applause, and appeared in a clamshell bikini at the VMAs. And that's the year of Our Lady Gaga 2013 edition.
When I was a kid, whenever I'd feel small or lonely, I'd look up at the stars. Wondered if there was life up there. Turns out I was looking in the wrong direction. When alien life entered our world, it was from deep beneath the Pacific Ocean. A fissure between 2 tectonic plates. Portal between dimensions. The breach. I was 15 when the first kaiju made land in San Francisco.
Pacific Rim came out in 2013, bringing back big battling kaiju creatures to American theaters.
I feel like Pacific Rim is what Transformers should have been.
It starred Idris Elba and Charlie Day and really put video game films kind of back on the map. Assassin's Creed would later come out in 2016. We see The Last of Us being made into an HBO series right now. I feel like the success of Pacific Rim is somewhat responsible for these later films.
I really surprisingly enjoyed Pacific Rim. I thought that the CG was really good. I thought that the characters were interesting. And honestly, I would watch Idris Elba star in literally anything. He could roll around in garbage and smear some on me, and I would be totally here for it.
And it did spawn a sequel in 2018 called Pacific Rim Uprising.
Out of that breaking headline late today from Los Angeles, a verdict tonight in the blurred lines case. A jury deciding the case in favor of Marvin Gaye's children and awarding them $7.3 million, saying Robin Thicke and Pharrell borrowed from that song.
In 2013, Robin Thicke made it big with a borderline rapey or just rapey song called Blurred Lines.
Robin Thicke and Pharrell Williams and T.I., and they just kind of talk about how they know you want it, they want it. They don't know if you really want it. I'm not sure if she ever says that she wants it. Somebody may or may not want it.
Yeah, there's definitely not an emphasis on consent in this song. There is an emphasis on groping women in the music video. And oddly enough, Robin Thicke has not faced much of a backlash as a result of Blurred Lines, despite things continuing to be in the media about how uncomfortable he made the video shoot. He's still a judge on Masked Singer and has yet to be quote unquote canceled. So, he apparently you can make a banger, and as long as it's a bop and reaches number 1, doesn't really matter what it's about.
It reminds me of the good old days, like Dean Martin and Doris Day's Baby It's Cold Outside, and the Rolling Stones song Brown Sugar.
The music video was very interesting in that everybody was naked. Well, all of the women were butt naked. And it brought us Emily Ratajkowski, who honestly still makes me feel bad about myself every time I look at her.
Yeah, I kind of feel like they have just brushed her statement under the rug and no one's really talking about it. And that's sort of a problem.
Hey, Rick, I have to make a project for the science fair this weekend. You think you could help me out?
Whatever. Well, traditionally, science fairs are a father-son thing.
Well, scientifically, traditions are an idiot thing.
Dan Harmon went from making a sitcom like Community to making one of the most effed up animated shows in 2013 called Rick and Morty.
Rick and Morty to me was the extension of Back to the Future that I dreamt about.
The only thing I really know about Rick and Morty is now that it's kind of like a TikTok trend and everyone's kind of doing a certain dance is like Rick and Morty. Rick and Morty.
I'm grateful for Rick and Morty because the rapper Echo put out a song called Pickle Rick where he actually samples that dialogue from the show. And it is, I think, his most successful song. It's the top of his Spotify. It's insane that he was able to do that.
Rick and Morty is one of those shows that I really, really want to dislike. But every time I sit down and watch it, I crack up. Like, I don't watch it often. My husband will put it on every once in a while. I'm always like, this show's so stupid. Why am I laughing?
You know how to do it?
I don't know how to pronounce it exactly.
Most people, they read the lyrics and they go like ring-a-ding-a-ding-a-ding, but you have to, you know, if you're going to perform it, you really have to put a lot of...
How's it go?
Love. It's like...
One of the most annoying earworms ever to come out came out in 2013. A little diddle called What Does the Fox Say?
I have a deep affinity for this song. My son's name is Fox, so we love to dance to it in our house. And of course, he knows every word.
I didn't know it was a real song. I thought it was just a meme.
If you have young kids and they're learning animal noises, it's a great song for that. Just turn in the car and say, hey, when you go to school, you're going to say, this is what a dog says, woof, and so forth.
I am obsessed with foxes, and if you listen to videos of what foxes actually sound like, it's more of like a...
Ring-a-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding.
All right. Nope.
Ring-a-ding-ding-a-ling-a-ding-ding, ring-a-ding-ding-a-ding. Which is kind of close to...
Look out, Vagard Bard, we're coming for you. In the 2010s, Marvel dominated cinema, releasing epic blockbusters every year. This is the Marvel Minute for 2013. Everyone's least favorite Thor sequel, The Dark World, came out. Iron Man 3 took on his least threatening nemesis, the Mandarin. Or was he? It's a Fox production, but that year, Hugh Jackman gave us Wolverine. And Marvel hit the small screen when ABC resurrected Phil Coulson for the show Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
This is fine. I'm okay with the events that are unfolding currently.
The This Is Fine dog meme hit in 2013, and we have needed it ever since.
I'm an incredibly anxious human being, so I feel like this meme applies to everything going on in my life at all times. So I use it all the time.
This is the meme where it's a dog sitting at a table with a coffee mug in front of him, and the rest of the house behind him is just in flames, and he's saying, this is fine. This is fine.
That meme is pretty much just what humanity is. Like, it just defines life.
I think in 2020, the This Is Fine dog meme just encapsulated everybody's existence. The world is entirely on fire, and we are stuck at home drinking. I'm not sure if I can really say this on this podcast, but 2013 is about the time that we all started calling people fuckboys, maybe F-boys.
So an F-boy is a guy who strings you along when he just really wants to F you, do other things other than just date or want a relationship.
I didn't know what an F-boy was. I was married by 2013, and thankfully my husband is not one. But I heard it for the first time from my sister-in-law who cuts hair. And I said something, can you cut my husband's hair like this, that, or the other thing? And she goes, oh, you want the F-boy haircut? And I was like, excuse me? And she's like, oh, yeah. It's like what all the teens are asking for. And I'm like, can you explain the F-boy haircut to me? And it was pretty much like the Bieber of the day. And she's like, yeah. And she swipes. And it was like, she didn't even need to give me a definition. She just gave me 10 pictures of boys with the same haircut. And I go, oh, yeah, okay, F-boys. I got it.
I know I absolutely dated a fuckboy or two in college, and they know who they are. Greg, excuse me.
Yeah, I was an F-boy. Although I thought I was a good guy that people confused as an F-boy. And then years later, after just recollecting my thoughts and my experiences, I realized that I indeed was an F-boy.
I like to picture Alex in the shower, just like enjoying his life. He's like, I was the F-boy all along. It was me. It was me.
I went to an all-girl high school, So I do think that there can also be F girls.
Now that you bring it up, I think I was an F girl in college too. I was the F girl. I was the F girl all along, you guys.
Before we say goodbye to this year, let's take a moment to remember what we lost in 2013. We like to say rest in peace to the following: Corey Monteith and Paul Walker, taken too soon. The shows Breaking Bad, 30 Rock, and The Office. Paula Deen's cooking show, Don't Be a Racist, Y'all. Film critic Roger Ebert, and the BlackBerry. You couldn't compete with the iPhone or Android, so into the junk drawer you go. And that's a list of who and what we lost in 2013. It always hurts to say goodbye.
That wraps up Pop Culture Junkies We Love the 2010s, year 2013. Catch you in 2014.
Pop Culture Junkie is a production of Pop Culture Entertainment Group.